All right, babe, come on.
What's going on?
It's up.
Huh?
It's up. The Stanley.
What?
The Stanley. Hey, hey, hey. Where my phone at? I don't know who in here. So please, when you come in, say what's up. Let us know you're in here. Ain't nobody in here. Brady, lower your voice a little bit.
I ain't heard from you all week, girl, what happened? It's like every now and then you vanish, you must be magic. Abracadabra, you should win an Oscar this year, the way you've been acting. Yo, this love is beautiful, but it's tragic. I don't understand it, how I became an addict for you. You know I try to get away, but it's just the way.
Hey, Chastity. Hey, Shayla. That's right, girl. Tag them. Tell them to get up in here.
Text a nigga back, I don't understand it. Yeah, but if I don't hit you back, you get mad. That's a double standard. I can't stand it. Then you go and touch me so soft. Damn it.
I love to touch you.
Yeah. This love is beautiful, but it's tragic. I don't understand it. How I became an addict for you.
It's just the way you love me.
Time and time again, I try to run away, but
it's just the way you love me.
I know you don't love me.
It's just the way you love me.
It's just the way. It's just the way.
Oh, he's trying you so mean.
You love me.
Oh, jealous.
It's just the way. It's just the way.
You sound good. I had tacos
It's
tonight.
just the way. It's just the way.
Thank you for tagging them, Shayla.
It's just the way you love me.
Time and time again, I try to run away, but
It's just the way you love me.
Oh, thanks, Chastity. We appreciate that.
It's just the way you love me.
it's just the way. It's just the way.
It's just the way you love me. It's just the way. It's just the way. It's just the way, it's just the way.
Y'all please make sure to like the post while you're
What are
in
we
there.
doing here? I don't even know. Cause for the last few years, it's like we've been at each other's throat, like bullets flying in my head and arrows coming at my back. It's like you
Liking the
want
post.
me
You gotta
dead.
like the post.
And girl, you got me waving my
like
white
the
flag. I surrender.
You have to
Don't know
like it.
who's right and who's wrong. I'm just tired of being at war with
If
you,
don't nobody else do it, we gotta do it.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna upgrade. I'm gonna love it.
Send us some stars too.
All right, relax. I can just keep it where it's at. That'll be easier.
I'm tired of playing these games, and we talk about it over and over again, but don't nothing change. It's just more the
Hey
same.
Danielle, what's up, girl? Thank you. Cassie says, I love how real y'all are. You truly bring your listeners into your life and process. Yeah, I think we broke down all barriers.
Man, it's true.
Sometimes we be like, yo, was this too personal? Like, is it going to resonate with anybody? So that really helps us to hear that, because this was one of those episodes, well, mainly more towards the beginning, where we were kind of like, there's a lot of just like stuff that pertains to us. But I think that's how we've kind of lived this thing out, is like, if it's relevant to us, then there's at least one more couple going through it. So I
Absolutely.
appreciate you guys saying that.
I'm tired of playing these games. We talk about it over and over again, but don't nothing change.
Do us a favor when you guys come in. Let us know you're here. Share the feed. Let people know that we're on. Por favor.
It's true. There's no script. It's just off the cuff. You're going to get what you're going to get. You either vibe with it or you don't, but we can't come no other way.
Baby, I'll be fine. You know, I don't want you to go. I'm just hurt. All the pain ain't worth it, I'm certain.
All you gotta do is say that you
This is AJ?
stay. I'll go out
It's an artist in Detroit named Ryan. He did a song with Taylor.
Say the things
I don't wanna feel this way again.
Hey, Johanna. How are you?
What are we doing?
You ready to get started?
Yeah. The artist said he has to wait for the song to be over. Get a nice little fade out. You didn't stop it.
Playing these games, but don't nothing change.
just more of the same.
Hey, Shanika, we miss you too. Glad that you're back. Let's figure this out. That ain't it. I should learn from last time not to be just on here pushing buttons, but
Man, please.
I didn't, and I'm trying to figure out how to keep the chat up.
I need a whole episode, no technical difficulties. That would be amazing.
We've done it this season already.
No, I mean, like after last one, this one has to be none.
All right, y'all, we're about to get started. If you're in here and you have not put your name in the chat, please do, so that we know you are in here and we can give you a shout out to everybody that is listening via podcast streaming platforms later on. If you're on YouTube, say what's up. We can't see you. Devin, I know sometimes he hops on over there, but I heard he was frying chicken. Oh, shoot. Yep.
That sounds good. What happened?
It's nothing. It's just my view
Lord.
that's gone.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. I don't know how to get me back, but we're going to work with it from here. Don't worry about it. Oh, there we go.
All right, here we go. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Russell the Fourth.
Hey, everybody. It is me, Brandi.
And welcome to another live episode of the What They Never Told Us podcast. We back. And we're live.
We are live, and we got the gang with us.
Who we got with us today?
In here, I see Shayla, Chastity, Danielle, Shanika, Johanna. Hey, if y'all haven't heard Johanna's name before, we know her in real life, but welcome her to the platform. Did I miss anybody? I am not sure if I did. I did say Danielle. I thought I did, but if not, Danielle again.
You got Shayla?
Hey, I did get Shayla. She was the first one I said.
Beautiful. Welcome back. I'm sure we'll get some people that trickle in as we're rolling. But yeah.
Before we get started, I have to shout out Chastity, who was just pouring into us as we were setting up. So if you listen back on the podcast streaming platforms, you missed the beginning part where we're just kicking it and playing music. And she said some really dope things about us. But one thing that I want to shout out, she said, just love how real you are. Y'all truly bring your listeners into your life and your process. And that comment right there really just highlights why we do it, because we say it all the time, we are not experts. We didn't go to school for this. We have nothing but anointing and hard work and testimony to help us get through this. And sometimes it's messy and sometimes it's not polished, and we just appreciate y'all for rocking with us regardless, right?
Yeah. And that was one of the things that was like, I'm sure as y'all know by now, those of y'all that's been locked in with us, Brandi's like a planner and a researcher. So I was like, yo, we should start a podcast. And she's like, yeah, I don't know about that, but if we're going to do it, let's do it. And then we have a meeting at my apartment. We pull up all this stuff. And there was one section that was like, okay, what is your niche? What is the thing that separates you from other podcasts? And we spent a considerable amount of time talking about that and trying to figure out what that was. But it's exactly that. It's like no experts, no relationship gurus, no PhDs. Like, you're walking through this with us. Like, we're doing it from process, not from we figured it out. But no, we're in the middle of this thing trying to figure it out in real time. We've only been married 3 years. Like, we're not experts. And what's been beautiful is we've had people that have been able to grow with us. Like, you know, there's people who, when we started the podcast, when we were just dating, they were just dating too, right? We got engaged, they engaged, they were, you know what I mean? Like, they've done life with us. So it's so dope for you to say that. And I'm glad you pointed that out. Because like she said, the struggle be real sometimes. Yeah,
sometimes we don't know. We don't know what y'all going to receive.
And sometimes we don't receive it well either. Sometimes we get off these mics and we got to go upstairs and it's like, now when you had said what you had said, what was that about?
Yeah, it'd be a lot of that sometimes.
But the reward is great. The reward is great. Like, that comment and comments like that is like, okay, it's all worth it. The work is not in vain. So thank you for that. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Very much so.
Thank you. And then I want to shout out Shanika as well, because since it was no podcast, has been rocking with us. Is always a faithful live faithful live viewer. Never watches or listens to the episodes, but will always be here with us.
Only does the lives. Like, that's so backwards, but I ain't even mad.
But we love her for that. And she has been in school and will be graduating on May 3rd.
Shut up.
So she's been missing a couple of the lives, but girl, that is worth it. So congratulations to you. We are so proud of you. Anybody who decides to, you know what, we're going back to school and we're going to get this thing together, take us up a level. We applaud you. As a master's degree holder myself, I applaud you.
So dope. Absolutely. So real quick, who did listen to the episode? Shanika, don't even trip. Like, don't even answer the question.
Sometimes she surprises, so don't count her
It
out.
only be on the sex episode, so that's saying something about her. No, I'm joking. Who actually listened to the episode? This was, in my opinion, one of the better ones so far this season. Really enjoyed the conversation around like forgiveness and apology types, because it was something where I learned something as well. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Absolutely. 1 second. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting we have an animal in the house. There's a dog. We need a whole episode about pets.
No, we don't.
Pet parents against their will. Anyway, I'm like, what is that noise, yo?
So we got a couple people chatting it up in the comments. But yes, everybody's congratulations. And so Shanika she seems a little surprised that we called her out. She said, "Hey, yo." You know we love you, girl. We got to tease you all the time.
My bad.
Chastity said me, and she also commented earlier that it was a great episode. So we appreciate that.
Oh, awesome. Danielle says, I did. Mm-hmm. All right, so I had no idea that apology types were a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't either. I had this idea, and we have like a running list of show topics that we think we should cover, and I just put it in there, not knowing that it was a thing, but that we didn't apologize in the same way, and that was a thing. And so I actually used ChatGPT. It was like, hey, give me some ideas to talk about this specific topic, and they were like, oh, the book that was written by Dr. Gary Chapman, the 5 apology types are. I was like, oh, this is
it's a thing.
This is real. I thought I had invented something for a second.
But even when you were talking to me about the concept, like when we were coming up with like episode topics, you were like, kind of like how there's like love languages, but like,
I did say that.
You did. So to know that the guy who wrote love languages also did apology types, it was like, oh, okay. Come on, Wavelength. You better think on the same
level of genius. Wait till my book comes out.
I'm going to encourage you. I'm choosing to encourage you. I ain't going to pop your bubble.
Danielle said, I almost called my ex and told him I forgive him. Listen, I was not advocating for any of the ex calling, no drunk text.
Don't do it. It worked out for us. It worked out for us. Don't let her hate on you.
It depends on what we forgiving him for, because sometimes you just got to forgive in your head and move on. You don't need to call him and tell him.
Yeah, nah. So what's something you took away from the episode?
That you need to hear me apologize more.
For sure.
That is something that I took away from the episode. What about you?
I need to give voice to concern more.
That's true.
I didn't know that. I guess I didn't see how problematic it could be. Like in my mind, if there's no tension, then things are good. But it's the eroding, silent, sneaky killers of relationships.
Absolutely.
So that's what I learned, and also
that's what
not going into those moments with expectation.
We need to do an episode on that.
And not going into those moments with expectation. That's
expectations of apology.
Like, hey, I'm apologizing. So your turn. Like, I already knew that, but it helped affirm like why that's not a good thing to do. I'm
gonna say it again so you can ask me the question so I can respond how I've been responding in my head the last 3 times. We need to do an episode on that.
On what?
Relationship killers. Okay.
That's what you wanted to do? That's what it is you wanted to do?
I sounded like the dream in my head. I don't know what I sounded like out loud.
A mess? If that was the dream in your head, it was a nightmare out here.
In my head, it sounded just like the dream.
Now here was the nightmare.
Relationship killers.
Are you trying to do the radio killers?
Yeah.
Wow. That's slightly embarrassing. Slightly.
Yeah, secondhand embarrassment because I'm not embarrassed. I thought
I'll feel it for you.
Don't in my head.
God bless you.
I was waiting. I'm like, come on, why are you not asking me?
God bless your
heart.
Thank
you, Johanna. See, it's to be the people that you didn't even know listen. Honestly, I did not even know that you listened to the podcast, so I appreciate that. Hey, Devin. She said, Johanna says, I do not like it when people say, I just want to say I'm sorry, but don't say for what.
It's like, you ain't sorry.
Yeah.
You just tired of being beefed out, but you don't even know what you're sorry for.
I do that with the kids, and they be like, oh, I'm sorry. What are you sorry for? Explain. And if you can't explain to me what you're sorry for, then go about your business. Come back when you ready when you actually done thought about it and not just saying you sorry so you can get off punishment or whatever. Oh, what are you sorry for?
Man, this is so consequential. Like, especially like, cause you brought up kids, it made me think about this. Y'all know I work in a school, and I work in an alternative school, which is like I work with all the kids, that 1 or 2 kid in the classroom that you're like, oh, I don't know what to do with this kid. That's the entire population of of my kids, right? And this is where I try to start with everybody. It's just recognizing when you do something wrong and being comfortable, like admitting it, right? So like if I hear you cuss, don't say it wasn't me, or no, I didn't say that. I said fudge. No, like let's just get to I'm sorry, Mr. Davis, my bad. Right. And that does something. Like once we go there, then we go to the next step, which is okay. All right, we got I'm sorry down. Now let's get change down.
Yeah.
We're recognizing when we're doing it. And I was getting like the sweet spot is when they do it and they catch it before I say something. It's like, man, you mother.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, my bad, Mr. Davis, my bad.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not that different in relationships. It's like just kind of like what Johanna was talking about. Right. It's like knowing what you're sorry for is the first step. And then it leads to what you really want, which is change behavior, right? Not just I'm sorry, but if you that sorry, don't keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I wholeheartedly agree with it. Just don't give me a blanket I'm sorry. I think I went into it on the episode. I don't want to hear you sorry just because I said I'm sorry. Like, if you really don't mean it, then don't say it. I'd rather you take a day or two to really think about it, and then if you decide on your own that you're sorry, then cool, I will welcome it. But if you are never sorry for something, don't just say it just to smooth it over, because it's gonna come off inauthentic and it's not genuine, and it doesn't help us in our situation.
Absolutely.
So until you recognize what you did wrong, don't come to me talking about I'm sorry.
100%. We're going to read some comments. While we're reading comments, do me a favor. I want you to write in the chat, if you're in a relationship, are you the person who's first to say I'm sorry, or the person that struggles to say I'm sorry? If you're not in a relationship, I want you to tell us, is apology easy for you? Or is it a struggle for you? Let's just have a moment of owning it right now.
Hold on, and I'm going to make it even more. If it's easy for you, just type Russell. If it's hard for you, type Brandi. You don't even have to type, oh, it's easy for me. Just if it's easy
now
for you,
you're expecting them to remember who's who.
Yeah, if it's easy for you, type Russell. If it's hard for you, type Brandi. If they listen to the episode, then they know who's who.
I hate that you did. I hate that you did this.
You're
putting separation between us.
There's no separation. We have different apology styles. Mine is a little reluctant.
All right, let's read some comments. Shanika is responding to all of the flowers. She's saying thank you. Johanna. Oh, we already read that, didn't we?
I don't know.
Yep. Chastity says, I like the metaphor that Russell Davis IV gave about emptying out the trash/recycling so little situations don't get built up and become big, overflow, and then you explode. That's huge. Yeah, I really like that metaphor too. If you haven't heard the episode, it was like the concept was we were having issues with our computer, and before we would upload a new episode from our editing software, we would have to empty out our trash bin so that we have enough memory to save the episode on our computer. And we were kind of comparing that to your emotions, because your emotions also have a memory. They also have a storage, right? And when you don't forgive, you keep adding to the storage space, right? And then eventually what's going to happen is you don't have the ability or any capacity to hold good emotion, because you're still filled up with all of the bad stuff. If I have a relationship and all of my emotional memory has all of the wrong that you've done to me, I can't receive the good stuff. I can't move forward into the new upload of the new good stuff. It's like I'm still holding on to the last thing and the thing before that and the thing my daddy did and the thing my mama did and when my best friend that betrayed. Like, we have to let that stuff go. And I think that was one of the beautiful parts of the episode that we stumbled on, was like, man, like in this space between apology and forgiveness, there's like, okay, how am I affected when I fail to manage this and steward this space between apologizing and forgiving? Yeah. So absolutely, it was a great moment.
So let's go ahead and take some comments.
Debbie says, I'm sorry for everything.
Yeah. So if you sorry for everything, then I'll make you pay for everything. Like, no, remember, you sorry, remember? No, okay, no, remember, you were sorry.
He was talking to Johanna, like, I'm sorry for everything. She said exactly.
Shayla said, sorry equals change behavior.
Spitting.
Shanika said she is a Brandi. Shayla said a both, and I'm going to need you to explain how you are both.
You're going to have to elaborate on that.
Chastity says Russell. Danielle says both. Okay, Shayla and Danielle, how are you
It's
both?
a cop-out. It's either or. Does it depend on what happened? Is that what you're saying?
Johanna says she is a Russell. Obviously, y'all already know.
Can I ask a
wouldn't
question?
have it any other way. What?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, ask me personally.
No, the people in the chat.
Okay.
For the people who are saying that you're more of a Russell, which means that you're quicker to apologize, are you also more of the people-pleasing type? Tell me that. I want to see if there's some correlation between personality types. So if you are the first to say I'm sorry and it's easier for you, do you also find that you have some people-pleasing tendencies? Just curious.
Do you remember, like, okay, first of all, let me ask you this question. Do you, not that one is good or bad, maybe mine is a little bad. It's probably a little bad. But do you take pride in the fact that you're like, you can apologize easily?
No.
No.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. So on one hand, I do like the fact that I don't hold a lot of stuff. I don't hold a lot of baggage. I don't hold a lot of grudges because I'm more resolution based, right? Like I'm just trying to get to the other side. I don't like tension, and I think that I benefit from that. I don't like the fact that I feel like there's a part of it that might be a little unhealthy. Then that's why about the people pleasing thing, because I'm wondering if that's a correlation between that. Like I'm so invested in people, and it's even heightened when it's people I love. When it's people that when I love, I'm like, I just want to be right. So I'm sorry, and that part I don't like. I don't like that part. But I've been doing a lot of soul searching and a lot of like looking in the mirror to assess, okay, how much of it is let's get to the other side because you're trying to navigate through the relationship in a positive way, and how much of it is tiptoeing on people pleasing. Yeah.
I asked that because I remember early on in our relationship, one of the things that you said to me around this topic was you hate that you always feel like you're the first to apologize. And you felt like that anytime I did apologize, it was after you apologized, but it was never like, okay, hey, I recognize what's going on. You felt, I don't know, irritated almost that you were the first person to always apologize. Like, I always feel like I'm always the first one to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was in our marriage infancy. I was feeling the weight of like, okay, because number one, we're new to the marriage space. Yeah. It's a huge change in life. So we're navigating through a lot of change. So in our first year, there is a lot more tension, I would say. So it was a little exhausting that I felt like I was carrying the weight of, I'm sorry. And if I got an apology, we always said we've established that it was I'm sorry, but and it also was like if I don't think I did that, I ain't gonna say sorry. So I felt like I was carrying the weight of the owning in the relationship. Yeah. So a lot of times it leaves me feeling like, oh, I'm the problem. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm the only one that doing wrong in the relationship because I'm the only one saying sorry. So in your mind, you think.
Well, I'm like, do you? I guess I'm trying to understand. Like, if you apologize for you or for me.
You said what?
Are you apologizing for you or for me?
I'm apologizing for what I did in the relationship, but it's exhausting if I'm the only one doing that. Yeah, like I can own two things can be true. I can own what I did wrong, and I can also hope that I'm with someone who can do the same.
Yeah, I guess I was more information seeking to see like when you apologize and when people who are like you who say they're quick to apologize, like why? Who is the apology more like I need this so that we can move on, or do you feel like your partner or whoever you're apologizing to needs that apology? Because I think feeling the weight of I always am the one to apologize can be a real burden. And I recognize that was something that we saw in our marriage early on, but I wasn't seeking an apology. So when we had that like discussion, I'm like, well, you don't have to apologize. Like I'm not asking you to apologize,
Yeah.
but yet you still felt a weight like, oh, I'm always the one doing that, even though I wasn't asking for it. So I guess I was trying to see if when people say that they're quick to apologize, are they apologizing for themselves to ease the tension in a situation, to move forward and to bring a resolution? Or is it like, no, this is for you. And because it's for you, I don't always want to be the first one to do it.
No, I think two things can be true. I think it's both. I think it's like legitimately you can be the one who wants to chart forward in a positive way, but you don't always want to be the one or the only one doing that. You want to hope that, you're, at least I can't speak for everybody. In my situation, I was just trying to like foster a type of relationship. It was like, okay, when we come to these moments, let's both be in a position where we can have some self-evaluation. Like, looking back on it, I didn't say that right, or I didn't do that right. No one wants to be the only person doing that. Even if your motives are pure, you still don't want to be the only person doing that.
So I'm going to take a couple more of these comments. Devin said he's more like me. And Devin also says that's crazy because Chaz Def ain't. I was more of the people pleasing type. And Chastity says, no, I would not say that I'm a people pleaser. But she did say she was more like you in the apology style. But Danielle said, yes, she is. Shayla clarified and said, depending on the situation, but more than likely, she is like me. And Johanna, who also says she's like you in the apology style, is a people pleaser, definitely. But I feel like, so this is something that I'm just going to gush on Johanna for a second. Like, she's like a people pleaser. And if there's a good way to be that, like, she's a really good, like, caretaker.
Don't blur those lines. Those are different things.
There's a good way to, like,
things.
want to please people. I think she's really good at it.
We're talking about two different things. But there's people who have a legitimate gift of, like, helps and service, who people can just see you and see your need before I think you even realize that you need it. And clearly that's her. But there is a unhealthy side of that, right? And
I wouldn't know. I'm not a people pleaser, but I see those traits in others, yes.
For sure. Yeah, and it can be an unhealthy thing as well, especially when, like, you want so much for someone else that you end up neglecting your needs, or you find a form of validation in what you do for others. You know what I mean? And that's when it can be damaging to you. So I've tried to do a lot of work in my later days.
How's that going for you?
Great.
You think are you over it? Are you over your people pleasing phase, or
I think that's just my, like, preset disposition, but I think because I'm aware of it now, I can combat against it. I don't think it'll ever change. I don't think my heart will ever change because I have a heart for people, but I think I've definitely grown leaps and bounds, and, like, I don't get anything from it in terms of, like, I don't get my identity in that. You can dislike me and that doesn't change what I feel about me. You know what I mean?
But it did before.
Yes. I, you know my story. Like, I was the kid with the glasses, the crooked teeth, and it did something for me when I changed my exterior. Then I was accepted. Like, my social life between 7th and 8th grade was completely different. And I'm like, oh, snap. This is what it's like to be accepted. This is what it's like to be liked. So I found a lot of joy in that. That was the last year that my grades were good. That was my last year on the honor roll. The moment I got a whiff of what it's like to be accepted, it became paramount to me. And I wanted to do anything to stay like that. So if it had to be the class clown, I was going to be that. If it was the guy who would, be the tough guy in the moment, I was going to be that. If it was a guy in the front of the classroom who was, rapping or whatever it was to be liked, I was all for that. Unhealthy, very unhealthy.
Yeah, Johanna also says, yes, it can be unhealthy. And you're welcome, boo. We love you.
Absolutely. I want to know, in this space of, like, apologies and forgiveness, what is the thing that usually creates the most tension for you in relationships?
The thing?
Can you find something that you can trace throughout all your relationships that tends to be a source of, like, problems? Like, I use me an example.
Say it on live.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta cut down the mic so I can get the tea.
I'm not gonna whisper it either. There's a lot of good lip readers on there. No,
do like this. Do like this. Coming up.
No.
I just want to know what it is.
Broke boys.
Huh?
Broke boys. But I was gonna say something else.
You're not understanding the assignment.
That is the assignment. That is the theme. They come with a lot of baggage.
So you had a lot of tension between like selection.
Yeah.
You feel like a lot of problems were based on the type of guy that you picked.
Yes, absolutely.
Nothing with you though.
Oh, with me?
That's what I mean. Like, is there anything about you that you seem
I feel like I'm really a catch.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah, you sure do, don't you?
I mean, I'm super headstrong, so I mean that could be a source of tension in any relationship. I don't bend easily, especially if I don't see the other person's perspective easily. And I think that can be a source of tension, and it can also like cause me to just erroneously judge situations and make me have to apologize later because I'm very strong on my perspective, right? But early on, I don't think I realized that there were like other perspectives. It was like, I see it this way and that's the way it is. And sometimes I was wrong, right? And I would find myself later having to apologize and walk back something that I was very firm and very strong on because I was just wrong.
Yeah, I'm about to lead us in a exercise of ownership. This is going to be for the strong, not the weak. This is for the strong, okay? Only the strong people that's tapped in with us on the live right now. I want you to put in the chat, what is the worst thing about being with you? And we're not going to be negative because we'll get to what's the best thing about being about you because we're not trying to be
negative. Saying the worst thing about me being
we're not going to stay there because we're going to then transition to what's the best thing about you. But right now, I want to know if you had to be with you, what would you find hard to deal with?
My mouth. I would have been one.
You couldn't be with a you. It could only be one you. If it's two of yous,
I had to give me a nonviolent man because. If I had one that was, didn't really care about knocking her out, yeah, I'd be on the floor a lot. I got a mouth. That's the worst part, I think. And
I'm glad I got this version of you because I don't know how I would have dealt with that.
And you still get the mouth. So I don't think you get fussy, cussy, I'm going to tell you off.
You've never like belittled me with your words.
No,
You've never like been like, you never told me to shut up or like, the stuff like that. Like if you was like, shut the fuck up and like that.
But you like, still be like, man, why do you talk to me like a nigga? You still do that.
No. What you do is you talk to me like I'm an idiot, and that's what makes me upset. It's like of course we like. Why else would we do? It's like, hold on.
I don't think you're an idiot, but
you talk to me like you do. So so that
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's it. It's the smart mouth. It's the sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that wrapped into one.
All right, we got a couple people that's jumping out there. Shayla's the first one. Come on, ownership. Don't be scary. Drop it in the chat. This is a safe space, a safe community. Put it in the chat. What's the worst part about being with you? I'm gonna have to think about this with me.
We got a couple in a chat, so y'all just go ahead and say what's the worst thing about being with each other.
I gotta think about mine. You tell me what's the worst.
No, I had to expose myself. Expose yourself.
What if I really don't know?
I tell you. See, when I be like, "Oh, I'm perfect. I had every rug."
If you said, I'd be like, "Oh, you know what? Dang."
In the pot.
If you said, I'd be like, "Dang, you know what? You right." Hold on, let me think. Worst part about being with me.
My words cut deep if I'm pushed.
Don't read them yet. Tell me what's the worst part about being with me.
No, you tell me what's the worst part about being with you.
I would say.
I'll tell you if I agree.
Yours might be specific to like how you are. I'll say for me, the worst part about being with me would be, my inability to address things quickly that bother me, and how I respond when I can't hold it in anymore. I feel like the first time I bring something up, it's always over the top because I didn't say it when I first felt it. So when I do say it, I come off like a jerk. It's like, I feel like a lot of like, man, what? Where did that come from? When I bring it up, it's you always, you never, it's very absolute. It's very over the top because, you know, when it was just a small thing, I didn't address it.
It's almost in that same. I told you this before, but I really, really feel like you live life through exaggeration, and it's so hard to
That's right.
cope and communicate with somebody who's just like everything is extreme. It's like, even when you tell a story, like I gotta fish through, okay, like what's the exaggeration?
It's me.
And what like really happened?
It's me. I got it.
When you're talking about your emotions, like, okay, what is he really feeling? And what is like, I just want to say the worst case scenario.
Now, if you leave, I know what I'm feeling. You just deaf because I can articulate that.
I feel like you do, but I also feel like when you do, it's never and always. And it's like, I can't even receive that because it's not true.
Well, never and always applies to the extremes of what I think you're doing. Never extremes of what I do or what I feel.
Right. But when you're expressing to someone what you feel and it is based off something that happened between the two of you, it's like, but did that really occur the way that occurred, or is that just how you perceived it through the extreme filter? It's hard to.
You know how I feel about it, though.
It's hard.
You'll know. You'll
navigate.
know. Oh, he's upset. He's mad.
Hold on. Okay, so people are saying that we're funny. I'm not sure what we did, but yeah.
That might be when we cut when I cut the mics down.
Shayla says my words cut deep if I'm pushed. Chastity says my disorganization, and Devin says I can't think of anything. I'm too fly. So Chastity, please tell us what's the worst part about being married to
I think
Devin.
he might be not self-aware. That might be that might be the worst thing about you.
Danielle said her attitude. Yeah, I really feel like I'm just like, I feel like if you can deal with my mouth, we're good. We would be smooth sailing. If you can deal with my mouth and my mood swings.
You know what? I need to address something, and I'm glad we got here.
I think
Black women have to work on their PR package.
Don't do that.
I feel like y'all get a bad rap. I feel like y'all got bad PR.
I don't think we should go down that route.
I'm not saying something's true. I'm saying I feel like there's a perception about you guys that's not accurate.
Okay.
What are you feeling?
It's just the generalization of Black women that I just.
So I'm gonna say something, and you tell me if this is accurate or not. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like it is a more of a common thing that in our context as in the Black family context, that Black mothers are really great at apologizing when they do something wrong, or is it usually made up in deed or in gifting or in just moving past it with a gesture? I've talked to several people, and we all have this in common. If there was something done harshly or that hurt your feelings or something, it's you want to go to McDonald's. It's you want to go get something to eat. It's you hungry. It's you want to go to the mall. Do you think that's accurate or not accurate? I
would say in my home of origin, that was accurate.
Do you know anyone else's who that was their home of origin story?
You.
There we go. In the chat, I want you to sound off. I know we don't like attack Black women, and that's not what this is. This is ownership, and this is recharting the course, okay? What I'm trying to say is I'm not picking on Black women. What I am trying to say is that in general, like when we talk about shifting our bloodline, when we talk about doing better in our families than we did, we got to be honest about what we grew up with and what didn't work. And I'm being facetious about it. I'm not picking on Black women. I know I'm feeling all your facial expressions.
I'm looking at the camera. I'm not doing anything.
Okay, let's watch the episode back and you tell me what your facial expressions are doing. But this is I'm telling my truth. Okay, it's your truth too. So I don't even know why this is an issue. But regardless of what it is, like at the end of the day, we have to shift things like away from what was working, what wasn't working. And in this area, a lot of us didn't have a good example of, dang, I could have said that better. Or hey, you know what? I look back on it and I overreacted, and I'm sorry. I hope you know I love, like, that's something that I don't think I had growing up, and I've tried to do that. I haven't always been successful, but I've tried to in my parenting. Like when I do something wrong, to go back and be like, dang, yeah, that was a mess up. Dad shouldn't have did that.
I can definitely say that I have made apologizing to my kids when I am wrong a staple of my parenting. I think it's important not only for just a healthy relationship between you and your children, but I think it's healthy to see an adult taking accountability so that they know what that looks like. And if as an adult that they look up to, if you're not taking accountability for your actions, then what do you expect them to do when it's time for them to do it? They're just following your example. So I definitely apologize to my kids. I also apologize to my kids because I did not get an apology. And it's just one of those things where I was like, yeah, I'm not going to repeat that. I'm just not going to do that. My mom was I'm going to just go, like, she would do like some of the worst offenses. Like it would just be like egregious. And then be like, I got you some new shoes. Okay, but like, you also just punched me in my chest. Like, can we get it? Like, is there like, hey, my bad. Like, I was frustrated. I didn't mean to take that out on you. Or like, so yeah, for sure. I can definitely say that I did not grow up in a home where apologies were handed out. And my grandmother was not an apologizer. So maybe she learned it from her from her mother, but it was definitely a trait that I was like, yeah, I'm just not going to pass that on, because I remember what that felt like, knowing that I was right, knowing that I did no wrong, and just being punished or blamed or something for, and when she found out the truth, just being like, oh, okay.
Man, I will never forget one of the most emotional moments I've ever had. It came out of nowhere too. I'm an emotional guy, and I've always been an emotional kid as well. But I will never forget the first time and the only time I heard my mom say, I'm sorry to me. I broke down crying and said, oh!
You cry like that dude. Was the Floyd Mayweather uncle?
And that's not his uncle. That's not who that was. But
you knew who I was talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The cry heard around the world. But I wish you wouldn't have brought that. Anyway, so, and it was around that time that I talked about when I was off the honor roll. Like I started struggling in school. My mom was so frustrated. Both my parents are in education. My dad was an administrator. My mom was an administrator. Education is huge in my family. So me at the school being the class clown, getting in trouble, cutting up, failing my classes was the worst thing, right? And they were on me. I remember one time she got so frustrated. I can't remember what she said, but it was something along the lines of like, you're stupid. And I don't know what the exact word was. I don't know if it was like, you're just acting stupid. I can't remember what it was. But I remember I was like, it crushed me. It crushed me. And I shut down for like a good, what felt like 2 weeks. It might have been one good solid week, but it felt like two. And I remember we were passing each other on the steps. We had like this little middle divide, unimportant information. But we meet at that landing spot in between the staircase, and she just grabs me and says, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. And I was like broke down. And it was so impactful to me. Like, it's only happened once, but when I say I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. And in my home of origin, where tension and arguments were commonplace, that one single act of ownership cut through so much of what I grew up in. And it taught me something that I've held on to for all of my life. Mm-hmm. I'll be quick to say I'm sorry, because I know what it's like to be on the other side of that, of offense that hurt, that cut you deep. And you don't want to hold on to it, but man, if you could just own up that wasn't right, if you could just own up that you hurt me, it'll mean everything. So as parents, as spouses, as friends, whatever your relational placement is where you've offended, like if you can master ownership, like moving forward makes it so much easier.
Devin calling the kids to the Kuiper, or the people to the Kuiper, the adults to the Kuiper. He says, I'm not coming for anyone. That means he coming for somebody when you got to put the disclaimer. It's me. here I am. You called and I'm here. No.
He said, I feel
He
like
said,
I
I
do this
feel
too.
like I do this too. But why is it easy to be accountable and apologize to our children, but challenging when it comes to our spouses? Is it a different level, or is the level of accountability different? He also says, or could it be the trauma from childhood that we don't want to pass down to our kids, so we're quicker to apologize? I think it's both. I think with specifically, if I'm answering the question for me and Russell, me and Russell have two very different perspectives when it comes to a lot of things. So when we're in a situation and maybe words are flying and we going back and forth, and now we done got escalated and now it's tension and it's something that we need to end up apologizing for, I don't always see his side of it. And I'm learning that I don't have to in order to apologize. Like, I can just apologize because he was hurt. But a lot of, I think my reluctancy to apologize has been based off, I don't see what I did wrong. With my kids, personally, for me, it is easier to see when I did wrong, because when it happens, it's not as high stakes as when it is between me and him. It's usually little stuff. I blamed you for doing something. I found out it wasn't you. Okay, so I can apologize for that. But I do also feel like I could just walk away and never say, oh, I realized it was your sister and it wasn't you. But that happened to me as a child. And so I make it intentional to go back and circle back and be like, hey, I found out you actually didn't do that, and I apologize for that. So it's like a little if and, but it is definitely a double standard, and I think it's the same reason why I can pour out mass amounts of affection on my children, but when it comes to my spouse, sometimes it's kind of like,
I'd love to weigh in.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm jumping on the ledge here. I'm owning it. I'm going on the ledge with a different perspective. Not different perspective, adding to your perspective. I think there's an area, and I think you touched on it a little bit at the end, but I think that a lot of times we put our children, in a position higher than our spouse. I think we value that relationship sometimes more, right? They come from us. They are our flesh. They look like us. And there's these little lives that we bring into the world that it's so easy to get wrapped up in. And that's a beautiful thing. I don't think that's wrong. But, man, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without getting super spiritual. Whatever. They know us at this point. The enemy hates marriage. Like, it is a reflection of his relationship with the church. The enemy hates the institution of marriage, so he attacks it so hard, and it allows him to usher in pride. You don't have no pride with your children. You're still in a position of authority, so you can say, I'm sorry, but still put on your jammies, go to bed. I'm still in a position of authority, so it lessens the need to bring in a level of pride, because I'm still the parent at the end of the day, and I'm sorry, I'm owning it. Now give daddy kisses and go night night. Like, I'm telling you what to do. But when it comes to this person who you did not birth, who came into your life, you chose this person, navigating the emotional space is so much harder to do, especially when there's a sense of pride, especially when you're bringing in context that you got before the marriage. Like, when we talk about who should be the first one to apologize, now it depends on a whole lot of factors. As a man, do I feel like it's my place? Maybe I shouldn't have to apologize. I'm the man, or maybe it's the woman is, ain't no man ever going to tell me, well, I ain't finna apologizing to him. I don't even apologize. But, like, we come in with these ideas that filter into our marriages, and it makes it so much more difficult. But I do think there's so much spiritual attack that husband and wife go through that I think we're unaware of.
Oh, for sure.
Like, thoughts that get put in our head, things we start feeling, we be like, man, if a thought can sit on you so much that it becomes real. It was just a thought, a theory, but it just sat on you so long that now it's like, nah, I know you don't respect me. I knew you didn't respect me. It's like, when did I ever say that?
I am not an avid podcast listener, so I don't really get a lot of moments like you guys get where like we're saying something and it's like relevant to your house. But we were in the car the other day and Russell put on a podcast as we were driving around, and the wife was telling a story about how the husband had planned, he'd been trying to get her birthday right for a long time. Like he just kept missing it, like not doing things that she appreciated. And so this time he had set it up real big. Was it birthday or anniversary? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But he had anniversary. So he had set it up real big. Like this time, like I've been talking to the friends. I know I've got it right? He books this resort, but he didn't read the reviews. So when they got to the resort, not that it wasn't a nice resort, but this is their anniversary. They're going away for sexy time. And the resort is like catered towards children. So they've left their children and they going to relax. But because he failed to read the reviews, he done took her to Kitty Palace. They in Walt Disney World for the anniversary. And she said she walked away to the bathroom, and as she was going to the bathroom, like the enemy started planting thoughts like, he doesn't care about you. Like he doesn't even read the reviews for the places that he's taking you. Like he does not consider you. He doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't care about the things that you desire. Like he does not love you. All from just this little bitty seed of like, because he didn't read the reviews to figure out what type of resort it was, it has now blossomed into he doesn't love you, he doesn't consider you, he doesn't care about you. And there are so many moments where I was listening to the story, and there were moments where I could literally flash back to those same thoughts for some little bitty thing. Now the thought is in my head is like, he doesn't know you. He doesn't appreciate who you are. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't think about you. He doesn't consider you. And I think that when we're in arguments and disagreements, and when it comes to apologizing, you feel more of that. You feel more of the like, we just had this all-out altercation. I said all these things that are on my heart, and what you left with was hurt feelings. So now I'm like, what am I apologizing for? Like, I'm speaking my heart and you're hurt? Really? No, I'm not apologizing to you for that. And I don't have that with my kids. I don't have those little creeping thoughts that are like, this man don't give a F about you. He just said this. He just looked at you like that. He throwing your past in your face. Like all of those things come into my head when we have these conversations. So him just saying, I'm going to just give it a real life example. You've been cheated on by every relationship in your past. Like, to me, that feels like an attack. That don't feel like you giving evidence. That don't feel like you bringing up my context. That feels like you're attacking me. And now I'm not apologizing to you for nothing that's coming out my mouth ever since then, because you started it by attacking me. Whether it's true or not, those are the seeds that are planted in the middle of arguments that make it, for me personally, really hard to be like, now I gotta like, and it is a little bit of pride in there too. Like I gotta apologize now after you just really just tried to come for me. So I it's a lot. It's a lot in that, Devin. So it's a lot in that.
But I want to say this in the most understandable way possible. Forget them kids. Like,
don't do that.
Forget them kids. You're gonna be great parents. You're gonna love on them, but ultimately, we are raising them to go out in the world and love on their spouse, to come see us on the holidays, drop off the kids, let us kiss on them, come pick them up. But they going home. And when they leave, you got to be able to do life with this person that you chose. So when you say I'm not an affectionate person, but your spouse sees you have affection for your children, you're a fool to think that doesn't resonate. When you say you can't apologize, but your spouse sees you apologize to your children, you're a fool to think that doesn't resonate. It's like, no, you can do it. You just do it where your value is. You do it where you feel safe to do it. And you just can't do that with me. And I've been in that place. I've been there where it's like, oh, I thought you weren't affectionate. But you doing a little raspberries. I'm like, ain't this about a blip? Oh, snap. I thought you weren't affectionate. The raspberries? You know what I mean? But seriously, like, that's not to devalue what children are to us, because they're a precious gift from God. But in the hierarchy of relationships, in the list of like priorities, your kingdom spouse, your covenant that you made before God, is of a higher priority than your job as a parent. I'm sorry to say that. And I know that might jolt some of y'all like, I'm sorry, I just can't never see myself putting my spouse over my child. All right.
But when they gone,
they're going to leave. And
it's not an easy switch. When you done made them the priority for 18 years, and some it's like 18 years and then another 18 years and then another. So it's a lot of years in there.
Right. And y'all seen them relationships where it's like, are you his mom or his girl? Because why are you beefing with his wife? Like,
a pastor asked me, I said, yeah, he got a little girlfriend. He said, but you jealous? I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. No. I just don't think you should have a girlfriend.
But it's a real thing. Like, we know those, especially you see it sometimes with in single motherhood relationships. And I've had friends who be like, man, I feel like I've developed kind of almost like a hero complex. Like, I have to be there for my mom. And it's like, yeah, fam, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, nobody's saying you not to care your mom, but you know, you supposed to leave your mother and cleave to your wife, right? Like, you can't be her man. That's not your calling, bro. Do for her, but you can't make her take precedence over your wife.
I think we've also seen that where like it's a family thing. It's a mom and dad thing. Like, we are pouring so much into the kids and pouring nothing into our relationship that once the kids leave, there's no relationship. God. And you see people with adult children who've been married 30, 40 years, and soon as the last kid is gone, it's like, I don't know you and I don't want to be with you now. Because we didn't foster our relationship when we had the chance to. We just made it all about the kids. Now when the kids are gone, there's no relationship left. I am so guilty of, I'm not affectionate, pouring all my affection into my kids, focusing so much on my kids that when my first marriage broke down, I was like, yo, like, what happened? I couldn't even see the demise because I was so focused on the kids. Like, here I am thinking that just because I'm a good mother, that makes me a good wife. But you have to be a good wife in order to be a good mother if you're a mother and a wife. Like, those things happen first because you love me so well, because I have the freedom to really be me, it makes me a great mom. Like, it makes me a great wife. And if we don't have this, I'm a mess with them because now I'm pouring everything that I have into them, and I don't even have anything left for me. Like, you make sure to be like, nah, take some time for yourself. I am a great wife to you, and that makes me an awesome mother to those children.
Facts. Foster your relationships, y'all. Don't get lost in motherhood, fatherhood. Like, it's a beautiful thing, but balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look up and you be like, dang, it's been 3 months. I can't remember when the last time we've been on a date. If y'all don't just go out to eat or something, like, just go eat at the restaurant. Don't get the takeout or get to the crib. Or even if you do, be intentional about, like, all right, let's put on a movie we want to see. Like, just foster the romance.
Put your foot on mine.
You know what I'm saying?
Sit on the couch. let's just be.
Facts. Because I can't remember this random, but I remember it was recently, maybe a couple weeks ago, but I was like, man, I noticed, like, when I go to bed at night, I usually have my cuddle position, and then at some point when I feel myself getting real sleepy, I'll turn over and go to my sleep position. But I go to my cuddle position first. And I don't think I intentionally did. I think it started off with me going to bed before you because I was tired. So I would just already be knocked out when you got to bed. And then it was like, I'm just going straight to my sleep position. And just that little act of just not making it a priority to make, like, some physical contact before I went to sleep started feeling like distance. You know what I mean? It's such the small things that foster, though, like, it keeps us in a place of romance. Like, you're not my roommate. We ain't just paying bills and making sure we got a roof over our heads. Like, you're my lover. And you know what I realized it? I never leave for work without kissing you.
I was just about to bring that up.
Ever. I never do it.
The door.
I never forget it. It's second nature to me. And one day I forgot. And you said, did you leave this house?
Wait, I woke up like, he not here?
You said, hey, I know this some hours ago, but did you kiss me this morning? And I was like, oh, snap, I didn't. But that's when I realized, like, yo, I've been feeling a little, like, distance. Not crazy, but it just, the small things that stoke that flame, like, you got to hold on to those things.
Yeah.
Tons of
Devin
comments.
earlier has said, I'm with Russ. F them kids.
Hold on, you missing some comments.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Can I go up a little higher?
Sure.
Shanika says that cry is something else. Oh wait, no.
Yep.
There, Jonathan Duncan says there's strength in genuine apology. It's one of the most vulnerable acts of love. Devin says that's helpful. Thanks for the insight.
Chastity said, literally just listen to that same podcast today. WTP. Yeah, shout out to the Perrys. I don't listen to them often, but when I do, it's always good.
Shay says, wow, that's good, Russell. Jonathan Duncan says, God's order of operation is God, spouse, children. When those are out of place, the entire relationship is doomed.
Debbie said facts, Jonathan. And then Mother Desiree is over on YouTube and she says, I love that you are talking about accountability and apologizing around your children and being able to witness that. Absolutely. We're trying to model it. Listen, we don't always get it right, but we are trying to do right by them so that they only see that we can apologize to them, but that we can apologize to each other. And I'm going to better.
Easier said than done. But we can do it. And I think it's like, it don't have to be like immediate change. It's just like when you're aware of it, then you can pay attention to it. It's when you don't realize you're doing it. When it's just your default setting, you're just oblivious to it. But not when you approach it with some understanding of like, all right, is there something in here that I can at least, it's those things. The awareness is so key.
So what are you going to do better at when it comes to apologizing?
I'm going to do better job of not trying so much to care about how you see me when I apologize. Like when you reenacted me and I was getting my apology, it was so much of, I hope you know I would never, I hope you know I'm not the type of person. It's like, bro, she knows you. Like, you don't got to do that. What did you do wrong? All right, let's just get to that. Own it. And I also learned that it's important for you that you know how we're going to move forward. That not just you're sorry, but like how are we going to avoid getting back to this place?
Chill, sorry. Yes.
Oh, I spitting like that?
No.
Gave her chills, y'all. She liked that accountability.
No. That's good.
What about you?
Of course, I'm just going to try to make an effort to I don't always have to see your perspective in order to apologize for how something that I did made you feel. Period.
That's good. That's good. I can live with that. Devin says, I'm going to do better at apologizing in general. I don't apologize often to Chaz, but I will my kids. Ha. Did you mean ha? Or was that a typo?
No, he put a period after it.
I hope. That's what we think it was a typo, because ha period is Devin.
He said, "How I beat her to it." I already said what I'm gonna do. She
Devin, we ain't going out like that, bro. We are not going out like that.
Mama Desiree said, "Balance is key," and then Chastity said, "This is a great topic tonight and great dialogue." Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, y'all. I hate to gas up an episode, but I'm gonna gas this one up. This is the episode that I think we're both most excited for in the season. Yes. Tuesday, you have to be a Tuesday, and Thursday as well, because we're gonna carry it over into the live as well.
Yeah,
but this is gonna be a fun one. I'm not gonna tell you the concept, but just know.
Oh shoot! Did the cam link come out?
I don't know. If you can still hear us, just know it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing, and yeah, all of the things. So we will be here on Tuesday with another pre-recorded episode, and Thursday we will be live. Baby, we're about to sign off. And always remember, we love.
And y'all should love too.
All right, peace.